Hey YouTube, they're saying it's 40 degrees out right now, and they're also calling for rain. You can see this is the One National Weather Service. Here's the problem with this. This is the temperature on my thermometer. So it's 33 degrees, and to me this means it's going to snow tonight. So I'm going to put my plow on the truck. I cannot figure out why it has to rain every time I wash my trucks. I need to turn that thing around and get the plow on it, and then I want to change the oil in the sawmill before it rains or snows. So it's really windy out there, but I still got to go do the things I just got done saying. But in the meantime, what I was doing was I was putting some Thompson water seal on that strawberry planter that I'm making for the neighbor, and then I got to make one for myself. I don't know if this stuff works. It says only put one coat on. The thing is I don't have the... normally I would use treated wood, but hey, I have this wood. I'm not going to treat it, but I am thinking about how to treat it. I'm thinking if I get a pipe and fill it with fluid and put pressure in it, I might be able to pressure treat wood. So I got to check that out. I also managed to clean this up over here and stack that up. That red oak on the bottom there is all good stuff. I brought that 4x4 in and one 2x4 just to, you know, keep it from warping out there, and even that should have been better at this end, but I'm just trying to get cleaned up real quick here. I'm going to bring my truck in so it don't get wet. My baby. This is one of the things I don't like about spring. I took the time to make that measuring video yesterday, and I never got to get this stuff chopped up into kindling. Now, if it was going to rain tonight, I'd leave it lay because it's wet anyway. But if it snows, I'm going to have a mess here trying to get this up, so I got to get this cut up quickly. Same thing with this. I mean, if I leave it in the bucket, I can cover the bucket and there's no big deal. This actually is firewood, so I need to put this away. And you can see I've got a freaking mountain to climb over to get to the firewood because that's where I was pushing the snow. It's just one thing after the other. But anyway, I got the siding for the most part covered. I do got to clean this up, but first I got to get the plow in the truck. So the filter number 1205001 for this Kohler for the LT15. Well, that may be that number, but the number I got is different. So I got a Napa filter here. Let's see if it fits. Yeah. Put a little bit of oil around the edge of that seal. The trouble with these rubber gloves is they're good when they're not oily. As soon as they get oily, forget it. I gotta get something so I can tighten that a little bit. I can't grab it. I couldn't see the number on the filter from before. So what I'm gonna do is I put this filter from Napa, and it's actually a bigger filter. I don't think it's gonna hurt anything, and it's not in the way of anything, so yeah, that's not going to be in the way of anything, so that should be fine. And then to drain the motor oil on this, you do it right here on this. So I can take this cap off, drain the motor oil, and put new oil in it. I'll let you know how much it takes. This is the first time I've changed oil in this. You can actually see it's not that dirty. It's sort of brown. Naturally, the wind got to blow it around and make a freaking mess. Anyway, so I have a pan down there catching it. I'll take the dipstick out, might help it to flow a little better. I gotta make a thing that goes across this frame so I can set stuff on it, because the frame itself is very awkward to set anything on. on. I'm not going to bore you with watching this thing drain out. I've got my plow on the truck there. You can see Bullseye's watching the squirrels in the distance. I think you can see him. He's watching a squirrel over there at the feeder. He'll sit there for hours watching him. So now it started raining. I don't know if you can see it, but it's starting to rain. So I'm just going to get this finished up and then I'm going to put the sawmill away. At least I got the oil changed. I want to clean that filter, but I haven't. I don't want to take it off while it's raining. I'll push it into the shed to do that. Well, that's working a little bit. When the wind blows, the freaking oil wants to blow out of the container. I'm going to let that drain good. Maybe I can put a piece of paper towel on top of this filter while I take it over and blow it out in the garage. So when you take this top off of here, then what's underneath there is a sponge type pre-filter and then the air cleaner underneath there. Got to take this nut off as well. I'm just showing this for somebody that may not know how to do it. Pull that off, but before I pull that off, wow, it's getting really windy now. I want to put this plastic bag on top of this thing. About the camera, guys, but I got gloves on, it's raining and whatnot. I'm just going to put this on top of here just to hold this bag on here till I blow this filter out. Man, what a stinking day this is turning out to be. Come on! Alright, so I'll leave that like that until I blow the filter out. And the motor oil still drips. There's a number of ways you can do this. What I do is use an... I've already done this, that's why I'm not getting it. I'll show you how I clean it off. So that would be this pre-cleaner. And then as far as this filter goes, I just blow it from the inside first. You can see the stuff coming out there. And then I blow the outside. Just tap it a little bit to try and get loose stuff out of it. When I don't get nothing coming out like that, I'm calling that clean. This wind isn't making it any easier for me out here. Oh boy, you can see that the oil is just dripping now. So I'm going to put the cap back on there. And then I'm going to put oil into it. But I also want to get the filter on here. So put the air filter back on, put the cover on. always, when I let the oil out, I just check it to see that I've done the right thing. You'd be surprised how, especially when working with heavy equipment, how you can screw stuff up with the wrong oil. But anyway, that's good. So you need to put the cap on the oil line. Okay, so that's that. So now I can put oil in it. Gotta be careful working around all this sawdust. Today is not the best day to be doing this. The freaking wind's blowing everything all over the place on me here, so I'm getting sawdust everywhere. A little bit of rain won't help to keep it down, or will help to keep the sawdust down, but I'm still trying to play with this thing. So I'm going to take the cap off the oil cover. I don't know if you can see that up here, but I'll wipe this off and put my funnel in there so I don't spill oil all over the place. And I think there's at least 2 quarts in there, so I'm going to go with that to start off with. Now I'm using 10W30. I use 10W30 on everything, and I'm too old to change now. I don't have any broken engines, no blown up engines, no problem with engines. So the only difference is, actually I like Quaker State motor oil rather than Napa, but I was there, they had the filters and stuff, so there was no sense in me fooling around buying Quaker State down at Walmart. But I have used Quaker State all my life and everything I have pretty much. And it's not exactly raining anymore, it's more or less like a little bit of a drizzle or whatever. So half a quart there that I had. Let's see what the dipstick says. The dipstick says I need about half a quart yet. So that would be 2 quarts then. Put half a quart in here and I'll start it up and see what the oil filter uses. Man, my fingers are frozen. I think it's going to start to turn to snow any second. Alright, with 2 quarts in there, it's showing slightly over full. So I'm going to start it to see if the filter uses anything. Alright, that should be enough to do anything that the filter might need. So I'm going to check the motor oil again. The want to wipe the dipstick off every time you check it. Let's see what we got here. So it's showing full, nice and clean. So I'm going to let it run, and then I'll check it again after it runs a while. Alright, so I'm letting it run there. I don't know if the cameras are right or not. I'm letting it run a little bit, and I'm going to shut it down, check the oil again, and then I should be good. What a day to do this. Okay, it's right on full, so that's good. So 2 quarts, looks like about 2 quarts should do it. Hands are freaking freezing. That eyelet over there tore out on me the other week. Couldn't be because these parts are made in China. No, that couldn't be that. Oh man. Yow. My hands are freezing. Okay guys, that's about it for being outside here, but I gotta start chopping this wood. Maybe I'll chop it while it's just lightly raining. I gotta get a heavier Let's check this out guys. See what looks like water on there? It's turning to ice. I think it's gonna start snowing soon. Well, I got it cleaned up. I try to cut kindling 2 inches or less in one, in a small square way, but doesn't always happen because some of the knots. But at least it's cleaned up. So if you look closely here, I don't know if you can see the freezing. Yeah, it's freezing rain there. That's what we're getting. Not a whole lot of it, but I don't know what it's going to do. It's supposed to be 100% chance tonight. So I don't know. I gotta chop them 3 yet, but at least we're cleaned up. So I stopped at Napa. Do you think I got enough oil filters to keep the chipper and the sawmill going.